I am living with two Siris right now. There's a really cool beta Siri AI on my iPhone, and then there's Siri Classic on the HomePod, and I have to speak to them in different ways. This split Siri personality life I have is going to be the norm for a lot of people because smarter Siri is not coming to every device that you might own. It's not on my HomePod mini or in my current Apple TV box. But that all can change in the fall when Apple is expected to upgrade both HomePods and the Apple TV.
And just as we were editing this video, Apple increased the prices on both of these products, which to me looks like Apple is preparing us for new chips to be in these devices soon.
Let's go over what should change right away and what has surprised me so far about living with the new Siri AI in beta. I'm Bridget Carey. This is One More Thing. For years, we have heard reports that Apple is going to upgrade the HomePod speakers to handle a new version of Siri. So it is safe to bet that it will happen sometime around September when the new Siri AI officially releases on iOS 27. At least that's the usual time frame. Now, do not expect the new smart speaker to have a screen yet. Yes, there are reports that Apple's working on a speaker that has a screen, but it doesn't seem to be a thing for this year. The original HomePod mini came out in 2020 with an S5 chip, and it hasn't had a hardware upgrade since then. HomePods use similar chips to Apple Watches, so that means a HomePod Mini 2 could have the S9, the S10, or maybe something new like an S11 chip.
Tim Cook said in an interview that Apple products will go up in price because of the current chip shortage. And sure enough, the price hike just happened, all because processors are more expensive now. But the full-size HomePod went up by $50, and the HomePod Mini just went up by $30. The Apple TV 4K box, it also saw a huge price spike of $70. Now it starts at $199, and it goes up to $250 for an Ethernet port. My goodness! So I would hope Apple puts better processors in these devices soon to justify that increase.
So if the HomePods get an update in the fall, the Apple TV box has to get an update. These things go hand in hand. They both serve as control hubs for controlling all your smart home gadgets, but also some people use the HomePods as TV speakers with their Apple TV, and it would be weird to have the speaker for your TV be a different Siri than what's in the TV box. But I am sure people might actually have this experience because it's expensive to upgrade all these devices at once. We are going to be in a weird transitional period possibly. The current Apple TV 4K has an A15 Bionic chip. Now that came out back in the iPhone 13 series. So yes, it does need something to handle the Siri AI commands. Better Siri should mean a better remote too. You talk to Siri now into the remote, and the remote could add in chips for precision finding, which is something we see in the AirTag 2. But no matter what, I think we all would just want an easier time changing the TV settings conversationally with Siri, because navigating Apple TV settings and the apps, well, it can be a little messy. And Apple just cannot wait any longer on releasing a better Apple TV box. Because of the smart home tools, right now on my iPhone, I can ask Siri AI to pull up specific things that happened on security camera footage. So of course, you need your TV to also be able to pull up that same footage. The smart home needs to be smarter everywhere. Over the years, I have gotten used to speaking to Siri in a certain way. And maybe you also changed how you talk to your devices when it doesn't do something the way you want, and you adjust your sentences to phrase commands differently. But new Siri AI so far has been a little better at catching what I want the first time. This is just a developer beta I am playing with on my phone. I am noticing success in some casual questions. Also, the history of my convo and questions are inside a new Siri app, but this app will not show me anything I say to my speaker or anything with classic Siri. It is only a history of interactions with the new Siri AI. So I ask, who won the Germany game in soccer for the World Cup? And it shows a nice layout of the score with details. And then I follow it with, how about the US? How did they do? And it got it right. I also went camping with the family this past week, and I used a lot of the new Siri button inside the camera app. Now, Siri AI is a mode you switch to, like photo and video. And instead of taking a photo, the shutter button becomes a Siri button. and it just tells you what you're looking at. And it knew, without me saying anything, that this was a beaver dam. The Photos app always let you look up details of plants so you can know if something was poisonous. Turns out this plant was very toxic. And you can now ask about all sorts of things, even after you take a photo. So here, my son was having a great time finding little red newts on our hiking trail that he would gently pick up, and it was so cute. And you could just hold down the button here to ask Siri, what animal is that? And it tells me all about this newt, which apparently has a powerful neurotoxin, and he should not have touched them. Yeah, I'm a good parent, but now Siri will help me be a better parent, so thank you, Siri. It's a bit of a learning process to reteach myself how to talk to this new Siri, and I can see how I'm going to want to eventually upgrade my speakers, because I don't want to dance around talking to Siri in two different ways, and I want a speaker to also have a memory of what I just asked about in a previous question, or to also have this personal context there for me. Now, if upgrading all your speakers this year just doesn't feel feasible, an alternative option would be to just make sure your Apple Watch and your iPhone both have the new Siri. That way it's always with you everywhere, right? It is only going to be on certain Apple Watch models like the Series 9 and later, as well as the Ultra 2, the Ultra 3, and the SE3. There are some sales going on now with the Apple Watch. Maybe keep your eyes peeled. If you're watching this when the video is airing, there is still Amazon Prime Day going on, which has watches on discount. Are you considering new HomePod speakers or getting a new Apple TV box? I am still in the early stages of testing out the new Siri AI. So comment below if there's something you want me to poke more at for a future video, and I'll catch you next week when there's one more thing to talk about in the world of Apple.